Welcome to week 1. In today's video, we will talk about the various sources of information. There are various sources of information that you may use or consider when finding for significant data. These sources may be classified as primary, secondary, and tertiary. The context of information present in a source is helpful in classifying information. Now, let us discuss each of these sources. First, primary sources. Primary sources contain information that are authentic and have not been subjected to evaluation or assessment. These report discoveries, sharing of information, and first-hand experiences. These information are written at a certain time or period of research. From the term itself, primary serves as the main source of information about a certain topic. Hence, they can be described as original sources. What are the examples of primary sources? First, speeches, such as those delivered by the President of the Philippines, by a research speaker in a graduation ceremony, or simply by a successful individual in a forum. Video recordings and photographs taken from the actual setting can also be considered as primary sources. Aside from this, we also have government records or documents, communications, letters, memos, and articles from newspapers or magazines that are purely based on the statements of the eyewitnesses of a particular event. Next, we have secondary sources. Secondary sources provide information, discussion, and/or interpretation of the evidence. These are usually evaluations of primary sources. These are also information written by authors who do not personally witness the event or action. Secondary sources differ from primary sources in a way that they are only evaluations of the original documents. These are mainly from the viewpoint of someone who did not actually witness the event. Some examples are commentaries, critics, evaluations, history, journals or magazines not portraying information from eyewitnesses. Other examples include biographies, editorials, and book or movie reviews. Take note that a biography is about the life of a particular person written by another individual or group, while an autobiography is about the life of the writer himself or herself. So, biographies are secondary sources while autobiographies are primary sources. Lastly, we have the tertiary sources. Tertiary sources serve as collection of primary and secondary sources. For example, bibliographies, directories, dictionary, almanac, abstracts, indices, encyclopedias, and databases. Books or textbooks, manuals, and guidebooks also belong in this category. Whether your source is primary, secondary, or tertiary, it is important that it gives information with qualities like accuracy, completeness, timeliness, consistency, relevance, and uniqueness. Accuracy. As a reader or researcher, we always look for materials that will provide exact or accurate information or details. Sources with accurate and error-free information are always reliable. Next is completeness. Of course, whenever we search for something, we always want the source to give us complete details like the what, who, where, when, why, and how of the event. The completeness of information will definitely support our writing, thus making our own work more reliable as well. Third is timeliness. As a researcher, for example, it is necessary that we consider sources that are updated and not outdated. Because things change or discoveries arise from time to time, it is important that we look at the latest sources of information. However, it still depends on your purpose of reading or researching, because there are instances that original documents matter than those that were only based on someone's reviews or compilations. Accuracy comes with consistency. Consistency means that information given must be reliable or true and correct. In this time that fake news is widespread, it is important that we look for information and sources that provide consistent and true information only. We must be careful in taking particular details from a source every time. Fifth is relevance or relevant. Surely, we read materials that we find useful in our daily lives or those that are related to the topic that we're working on. If an information catches your interest and suits your needs, then it becomes relevant to you. Finally, uniqueness. Information should be distinct. Information that provides new ideas are definitely interesting and worth reading. And so, we are done with Lesson 1. Just do not forget the three sources of information such as primary, secondary, and tertiary. And also remember the 6 characteristics of good information: accuracy, completeness, timeliness, consistency, relevance, and uniqueness. Till next time, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today.